Good morning, guys. This is Kenzo Xtrahot-Forex. So let's go straight to our weekly analysis. I hope you did see that last week the market was seriously going crazy because of Trump tariffs. So at the moment, we can say all other crazy tariffs, they were paused, and the only thing that left is China and US tariff tensions, which at the moment they are like skyrocketing, like 140 something, 120 something percent tariffs on both countries. So that is quite crazy. But at the end of the day, I think that will actually bring these countries very quick to the table to discuss whatever they're supposed to discuss. This is going to hurt both sides actually. So, which means one way or another, they don't really have enough time to play games. Along the way, yes, this is going to maybe take 2 days, 3 days, but I think one way or another they'll have to find a way. Even though Trump seems to be a bully at the moment, because sometimes he just go crazy on the numbers, then backs off a little bit later. I think he was supposed to just use the other methods of communication, but anyways, I'm not going to be the judge here. So, but at the moment, we know very well that those tariffs, they're actually going to go crazy. And very quick, we start to see other news saying that the likes of chips, laptops, computers, or let's just say electronics, it seems like they are not going to be included in that tariff list, because this is going to just hurt. We know that China produces most of the electronics, so that was going to just hurt everyone, you see. But at the moment, it seems like they're not going to include electronics and stuff like that. But we'll just see how this week things are going to go. Let's hope that they're going to just put their sides or their differences aside and maybe think for the consumers. So we'll see that. And at the moment, for those who actually want to learn about these fundamentals, understanding the market, what's really happening, how the market will react, just let me know. And as I said, we still have this special way you can just get everything that you see there, whether it's mentorship, where we are going to actually talk about those fundamentals, risk management, helping you to understand the state of the market, and most likely you will understand why the market moves this way because you understand the news. So we have 4-month mentorship, a signal indicator, and also lifetime services like signals. So you get that for $250 if you want both of them. But if you want one, it's still fine. You can get it one like that. You can scan that QR code and just talk to me or just WhatsApp me there. So yeah, I think this year, it's going to be difficult if you don't really understand fundamentals. If you don't really understand geopolitics, this is going to be a problem, because these days the market moves because of a post. Someone can just post something on Twitter or something. I mean, I'm talking about politicians, and the market start to move accordingly. But if you don't really understand what's really happening, what those things might affect, whether they're going to affect gold or stock market or tech stock and stuff like that, then you're going to have some serious issues. But by the way, now we are on economic calendar. Monday, we can see that there's nothing. We see CPI from Canada on Tuesday. Retail sales from the US, very, very, very important. Okay, we see interest rates from Canada. It means this week is going to be very important also, but for Canada and US, I see Powell is going to speak on Wednesday. This is also going to move the market. We just want to know if maybe they are going to cut the rates or not. But I think there are already statements where they say they are willing to cut the rates 4 times, because it seems like the previous events that we received, they were actually cooling off. That's very good. And we also have interest rates from Europe, unemployment change from Australia, but the most important one is going to be this interest rates from Europe, Canada, and Powell is going to speak. So yeah, it's going to be a very, very, very busy week. So if you did not really subscribe yet, please smash that subscribe button, like, share with your friends. I will try to make it quick here. We're trying to reach 10K subscribers. I think with your help, we can actually reach that. So USD CHF, for those who don't really understand, when gold is going up like this, most likely even CHF, it's also getting stronger, it's going down. The reason behind that is CHF or Swiss franc, it's also treated as a safe haven. Most countries, they also put their wealth there because it's a very, very, very neutral country. Maybe now things started to change. I saw last year they were trying to boost their military, this and that, but still, it's still very a good country, which you can say it's quite neutral. And we can see that when they started to increase the rates and the tariffs and stuff like that, it started to get stronger because there were countries which were actually starting to think twice about the US as things just change now and then. So they started to sell US bonds or treasury yields, and that actually makes the value of gold to be quite weak. And when that happens, they take that money straight to Swiss franc or something else. So we start to see this going quite stronger. And it's not really surprising. I think the market will still continue. Yes, we might see some reversals, or maybe we might see something like that where the market consolidates, then after continues to go even lower. I hope maybe you knew about this, that Swiss franc is very, very important. So we have Euro JPY. This one actually disappointed very much, but we are still in here. We had the structure. You can see the market on the bottom side is actually ranging. It's just moving horizontally. So that's why we have that support on top. That we can see that slowly the market is creating this wedge structure. And we were expecting the market to go even lower. Yes, the thing is the market was around this level. The market was already coming from this top, going lower. Then we got there. Then the market reversed, unfortunately. But what I like is the market did not really break our resistance there. So which means there is still a chance for the market to do what? To continue going lower. But at the moment, this was not really nice. Yes, it means we have to maybe adjust the stop loss. The thing is we got a little bit lower there, you see. So USD Canada also, we can see the dollar, it's also losing some serious momentum there. And maybe this might be good for the interest rates cuts, or FOMC, to cut the rates, because Canada, US dollar is losing the momentum, and this is actually good because it also have this effect on the inflation. Prices are slowly going down, even though the tariffs might have some bad effect, stagflation and stuff like that. But we thought maybe if it continues like this, if maybe the tension between US and China about the tariffs, I think that is going to be a cherry on top, or a just bonus, because already the dollar is losing the momentum. So this might be a very good time to think about cutting those rates, maybe this month or next month or whatever. I think now we're starting to see the light. But the overall structure here, I'm still very bearish. So the best thing that we can do, we can just wait for the market to bounce back around this level, or the market might create something like a support there so that we can continue going down on that downtrend structure. The overall structure there, it's quite straightforward. We are on a downtrend structure. I hope maybe that makes sense. Now we are on JPY. Yeah, JPY, it was quite stronger, guys. It was quite stronger. We can see that this overall move here, we can see that the market has been actually showing us that it's on a downtrend. It's going down. And I think this was quite obvious. We can see those touches there. Also on the bottom, we can see that every time the market touches on top there, we saw the market going actually lower. So at the moment, it means the market might be trying to go back to that resistance so that we can look for another sell. At the moment, we can just relax, unless if we just want to scalp, because it's like obvious that most likely once the market reaches this lowest level, the market tends to go up or higher. So yes, there is a chance for the market to do what? To go up like that as we are on this trend. So I think the structure is quite straightforward. So let's push to the next one, which is a JPY, USD JPY, still on a very nice downtrend structure. The market still showing us that we are going down. So at the moment, sometimes this might be difficult for us to jump in there because already the market is a little bit lower. So which means we just have to wait for a nice reversal before we get in there. But now we have some structures. We have this area or that area. So between this area, the market might still reverse because this was a support and that is a resistance. So one of the two, but we have to look at this first before we jump in. But the overall structure, we're following the trend. We're not trying to discover something new there. It's just following the trend. And it's a simple scale that is also difficult to follow because it's too simple. You might say, why it's so simple? It's not really simple once you start to trade. Because sometimes you might get in at the wrong time. The aim there is to know where the market is going. And once you know where the market is going, you can just try to find where you can actually get in or get out. So now we are on GbpUsd. We can see that this is a very simple, straightforward structure. The market has been actually going up, showing us that we are going down. We thought maybe the market was trying to break out there, as our trend line was actually cutting around that level. But you know what? The market reversed. We tried to catch some very nice bullish moves there. We did catch that. If you are part of our group, you know what I'm talking about. So we did catch those moves. And that was very great. That was very great. At the moment, we can say the market did touch our resistance. So we can just wait for a proper reversal. We can wait for a proper reversal before we jump in again. We can, something like that. You see that? Maybe the market might do something like that. Or maybe the market might even break this resistance area. We'll be ready. At the moment, we already smashed this one. We're not in a hurry. We might wait for the market to come back or something. We will just wait. We are patient. We will wait. So sometimes you just need to learn how to wait. We have to learn to wait. So now EurUsd. Let me just reduce. EurUsd, we can still see that we are on that nice bullish structure. I've been talking about this for quite some time. So we are still on that, and it seems like it's getting stronger and stronger. So I think we did have a buy somewhere around, not here, but around the, oh yeah, we did have here. We did have a buy here. But I think the market did not really move that like that because this is a daily time frame. But what we have is the market is flying. The market is showing us that it's going up. So with this type of moves, we know very well that this is similar to this. We know that the market will end up moving like that, not really aggressive as that. And then after, the market might continue with that. So we can easily see that the dollar against this pairs, it's losing some momentum. And I think this will give a room for interest rates cuts, or let's say lower inflation. And I think Trump needs that. And we can also see that. So now we are on gold. Gold has been also moving quite crazy. We can easily see that the overall structure here, it's still that nice uptrend structure. You can see we did smash this once here. Let me remove that. We did have some very nice trades going up. We never sold actually here. We were just going on these bullish moves. And the market respected that. We can see that the market is still flying, guys. The market is still flying. Another thing, or another reason why we see this nice push is because we saw US events going a little bit lower or softer. We still see tensions going up. And Russia-Ukraine still not finding that peace or that ceasefire deal nicely. Those are the factors that makes the gold to go even higher. That instability in the world, it's forcing gold to push up like that. And it seems like we're not going to see anything stopping. At the moment, that adds some cherry on top there. It's also tariffs. They also make the market to go crazy. And we start to see that when the dollar is also moving lower, gold will always move higher. But it's not like it's always directly proportional. I forgot the term. But when the market moves down or up on the other side, especially on the dollar side, it doesn't exactly mean that gold will also act the same, you see. So which means the correlation is not really as positive. We saw the other markets where the dollar is stronger, where the other ones dollar is weaker. But at the moment, likely enough, dollar is quite weak. So we can say, yeah, now maybe that is the reason, but it's not, because it's been going up where the dollar, it was quite stronger. So it's because of those tensions. It's because of those tensions or instability in the world. So I'm still very, very, very bullish, but obviously I'm waiting for a nice reversal or for the market to create something like a resistance. Then we will know that, okay, that is our resistance. Maybe the market will reach this level going lower before we look for another buy, or maybe the market will break that resistance. But for now, I think it's just a good time for us to relax. So US30, on US30, we saw that the market was trying to recover, especially after they said they were pausing for 90 days with the tariffs, but the market did act very nice. I think 15-12% there. That was crazy. And then a day after, they added 100 and something, 145 or 20 something on Chinese tariffs and stuff like that. And that started to make the market to become quite slower. We saw another reversal there, I think around 6%. But the overall structure, we can see we coming from that nice uptrend. At the moment, we can see that we are just playing around this area. So I think maybe the market might create something like that, but not so fast. We still have to see if maybe the market is going to respect this area for how long. If it respects that for quite some time, I think we are going to see the market continue to go lower. But my overall view of this stock market, the only thing that is holding us at the moment is US and China trade war, whatever. If they settle that down, I'm sure that we will see the market breaking this resistance and starting to go higher, because things are going very well actually on those companies. But if they just continue with this tit for tat, but at the moment I think it's going to be confusing, because they say, you know what, we're not going to include electronics, phones, cell phones, computers, consoles, and stuff like that. That means now it's only going to be maybe on the material side and stuff like that. So I think that weight will be no longer that much. It's going to be there, but not that much. So which means maybe we might start to see some very nice push. Maybe Apple, if you did so, Apple, it was selling. I think that weight is going to actually try to be relieved from that side. I think actually when Apple was selling like that was the only company that was way too stressed with these tariffs. But if they lift those, I think now we can say things differently. I think it's where we're going to see maybe Nasdaq flying, maybe from tomorrow. You see, these are the fundamentals that we talk about. So yeah, that statement that you saw on CNBC, Trump saying we exempt this computer console, this and that is going to push tech companies to go higher, and slowly maybe might start to slow down with the other tariffs, and then the market will catch up. So at the moment, I'm still actually bearish on US30, but the overall move here, I'm just waiting for those tariffs before we can think about something else. At the moment, we're just waiting. So Nasdaq 100. This thing, I think I have to wake up early, because that statement of Trump, I think, is going to mean something. If they're not going to include cell phones, chips, whatever, I think that is going to be a nice or good news for Nasdaq or for tech stocks, and for Nvidia, for Apple, for Meta, for Google, not really Google, but mostly those companies. So I think that is going to be a good news. Not really crazy good, but the only good one is going to be when they cut those 100 and something. If they go back to 20, 15 something %, I think that is going to be much, much, much better. But at the moment, while we still have some good news, I think As long as the market can break this, we will just have to wait. As long as the market can break this, I'm all in. Now we can say, yeah, it's time for us to fly. But if the market is still playing around, we can just scalp. There's nothing much that we can do. And yeah, I think for now we can say the market is still under this resistance, which means we are still on a downtrend. Yes, even though the market reversed there, I think the market can still play around before we jump to the upside. But if it breaks, I'm not gonna look back. I will be going in here because I don't really like selling these things. The market can just reverse within an hour. Within 15 minutes, the market can just jump 4%. So that's crazy. So I think for today that it's actually enough. For those who wants to be part of the team, just know that you can just get 4 months mentorship, our signal indicator, and also lifetime signals for actually $250. But if you want the individual stuff there or services, you can just pause that video, scan that QR code, just let me know. So thank you very much. This is Kenzo Xtrahot-Forex. I will see you on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.